Welcome to Masters of Self University podcast, your highest source of sacred truths and universal wisdom. Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Rachel Fiore, mystic, spiritual teacher, psychic healer, and founder of Masters of Self University. Join our journey of soul transformation as we deep dive into this latest episode. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Masters of Self University podcast. I'm Rachel Fiore, your host for this episode. Stop matching other people's energies. Stop it. Just stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. What do I mean by that? Stop matching other people's energies. When people around you, when people on social media, when you interact or engage with anybody or come across people in your everyday lives and they have negative, unloving, harmful, nasty energies, and you match that energy, you were the one showing powerlessness. Okay. And by matching that energy, what do I mean by that? If they are negative, if they are critical, if they are judgmental, if they are whatever the hell they are, and you allow that energy to go inside of you and entrain your vibrational frequencies and train your emotional state of being to match theirs. Okay. So you have to understand something first about energy. Okay. How energetics actually works. Entrainment is always occurring. Energies always seek to match and equal out and balance out. They're always looking for a state of equilibrium. Energy, the universe, everything that exists is always looking for a state of equilibrium. Okay. Extreme polarized energies don't bode well together, right? So energies are always looking to match and balance out, even if it's negative. That's not a volatile energy, a chaotic energy, if it's about the same vibrational frequency. Energy doesn't care that it's negative. You care that it's negative. The energy itself is fine being negative energy. We're the ones that label it as negative. Does that make sense? Energy is just doing what energy does. So when somebody is nasty or negative and it hits you, it's like, oh, that stings. Oh, I don't like that. That sucks. And you allow your energies, your emotional state of being, your mental state of being, you allow your energetic frequency to then match the person in the room with you, or the person you're having a conversation with, or the person who commented on social media and they were a fucking asshole. It's whatever whatever the scenario. When you allow that to happen, so some people will teach this like on a surface level and say, you're giving your power away. Don't give your power away. Okay. That's great. Beautiful. That is a more elementary teaching. So I want to take you deeper than that because this is related to that. Don't give your power away. Really what this means is, I feel that really nasty, horrible, negative energy, unloving energy from this person. And let me give a shout out to all my empaths, HSPs. If you're extremely sensitive to energies and all that, you can't not feel negative energies, unloving energies, harmful energies, toxic energies. It's not possible for you to not feel that. Everybody feels energies to varying degrees, but my empaths and my sensitives and, anybody who's really sensitive to energetic frequencies, emotionally sensitive, that's just you're sensitive, meaning you can feel negative energies inside your own body like it's your own. That's an empath. So for all you empaths and sensitive ones out there, this stuff hits you hard and it hits you like a ton of bricks. Okay. There's no possible way to not feel the energies around you when you're an HSP or an empath or whatever. Okay. So if you are not an empath or HSP, understand that. If you didn't already know that, it isn't possible. Like I can never quote unquote, there's no healing that. That's just how your makeup is. Like you were made up this way to walk through this world as a hypersensitive being, and you feel all these energies, good, bad, or whatever they are. And as an, HSPs, empaths, you can't not feel the negative, scary, horrific, terrifying, awful, unloving, racist, sexist, whatever energy, hateful, attack you, project onto you all the time energies. Like you can't not feel that. You're going to feel it. There's no such thing as, heal and you won't feel that anymore. That doesn't even make any sense as an empath or an HSP. You're always going to feel it. So here's where elevating into the universal ways of oneness. Okay, because these are enlightened vibrational frequencies to become. They are the vibrational frequencies to become, like this is your foundational frequency. So you'll feel negative energies of somebody you're talking to or around, or maybe you're around family members who are on the, unawakened side and you're still around your family members, but they're the unconscious ones, right? You're going to feel their programs, their negative crap. Okay. Because you're more awakened than them, which means you're more sensitive to things. That just means you have more of an ability to be energetically aware of your surroundings. That's what that means, quote unquote, sensitive. That's all that means, guys. The more awakened you become, the more sensitive you become, meaning the more aware energetically you feel energetically things around you that maybe prior to getting to this stage of awakening, you didn't feel this stuff before, but you're aware of it now. Okay. You're very aware of what you're feeling now. So during this awakening process for people, you're going to feel the negative energies, the angry, hateful energies, the energies of grief and sadness and depression and anxiety in other people. Ugh, feels like crap. Ugh, I don't like to feel it, but it's there, right? The problem is we don't realize that we then match that energy. We take that energy, we feel it around us, we feel it inside of us, and then we start to entrain to that energy. And all of a sudden, here you are spiraling down in a negative pattern because you had energetic frequencies that are negative and awful feeling thrown at you. You've come across them, you've been exposed to them, and now you're spiraling down, matching those negative lower energies. Now, why does that happen? There's 1,000 reasons why that happens. I'm going to give you some just for educational purposes, for you to understand this better. So if you run programs of savior, like the savior complex, you run that program. If you are a people pleaser, you're going to match that energy and dive into the depths of hell with that person's energy. You're going to match their energy. If you run powerlessness programs and there's anything unhealed in you, an unhealed inner child that thinks you can't do it, you're not capable, all of those. So if your wounding and your programs that are unhealed and not alchemized yet are in there, and any of those wounds or programs match the energies of this person in front of you, you're matching their energy. This is why it's so critical. First and foremost, you become fully self-aware in your awakening journey, and you heal and alchemize every goddamn wound and program that you run until you don't run them anymore. You don't have them. They don't exist anymore inside of you. That's the foundational work that we teach at Masters of Self University. Okay. And it's why we teach it as the foundational stuff at Masters of Self University. Okay. When you are learning and becoming the ways of oneness, you're learning about the universal ways of oneness, and you're becoming the ways of oneness. There's no such thing as you just becoming them and never doing work on your shadow self, because it's literally impossible. You can't become enlightened if you have no awareness and of what wounds you have and what programs you run. That's not an enlightened being. There's no such thing as a being becoming enlightened and never have done shadow work. They just, meditated their whole life. That doesn't exist. That's not enlightenment, guys. Doesn't exist. That's the truth. That's the way of truth. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you've been brainwashed to believe. Get out of it. Enlightened beings know how to read energy. And it isn't about you being a goddamn healer. I don't care what kind of healer you are. Now, if you misinterpreted what I just said and thought, oh my God, I'm so offended, you have a lot of fucking healing to do. She's judging. You're projecting onto me your bullshit that you haven't healed yet. That's all that's happening right now. Why do I say I don't care what kind of modalities you know or are certified in? I don't care how many, the 97 certifications that you have in all these different energy modalities. Does that mean I'm putting it down? Only in your distorted egoic view. Heal yourselves, for Christ's sake. Stop living in the misery where you always think somebody's putting you down and criticizing you. Doesn't it get old? God damn. Why would I say I don't? If you just said it differently, I get that one. It's fucking hilarious. If you just say it differently, oh, so there's 8 billion people on the planet. How could I possibly say one thing 8 billion different ways just to make sure you, that one person, it lands on you in the perfect way? Grow up and raise your level of consciousness. You are an unhealed little baby. And you wonder why you walk around the world on this planet matching people's negative shit because you haven't healed your own. That's why entrainment happens. When you have that stuff in there, buried, repressed, suppressed, you're avoiding it. You pretend like you don't because you're just love and light. Matching other people's energies. This is how energetics works. You're matching their energy and you don't even realize you're doing it. And then you wonder why after that encounter, you feel so negative, so terrible, so crappy for so long after, for hours, sometimes days for some people, if you don't know how to alchemize it properly. This is you matching their energy. Okay. If you are a light worker, if you are a mystical warrior, if you are a healer, if you are anybody under that umbrella term, light worker, okay, if you fall into that category, right, then you are here to walk into a room, to interact with people who are still less conscious than you, ugly in their emotional destructive programming, dysfunctional, negative, hateful, always projecting onto you like you're the one who's a lower level of consciousness when all they're doing is projecting onto you because they actually are, right? You as a light, and I'm just going to call everyone, whatever type of light worker you are, I'm just going to use that umbrella term in this episode, okay? It doesn't matter what type you are, to what level. You're a healer, you're a light worker, you're a mystical warrior, you're whatever. All of you light workers, you are here to be around the negativity and to transform it. You are supposed to be the powerful transmitter of your own ignited, enlightened, powerful divine energies. In order to be around the negative people and the negative energies in your geographic location, in your family, in your community, in your neighborhood, at the events that you go to or where you hang out, okay, and socialize. You're the one who's supposed to walk in and activate the enlightened frequencies, the positive frequencies that other people have within themselves. You are the one that is supposed to also activate all their negative shit so it can come to the surface in order for them to see it and heal it. Why do you think people are so fucking triggered by me all the time? Because it happens naturally. You listen, oh, I'm so triggered. You said this. You shouldn't curse. You're angry. You're so rageful. You have hate. And it's like, it's hilarious when people comment like this. I don't have to work abs anymore when I work out. I just laugh my ass off when people comment this fucking nonsensical bullshit. It is hilarious because they're blind and they can't see. All they're doing is projecting their own unhealed shit. Why? Because I'm an activator. That's part of what you do as a light worker. And again, I'm just lump all this in categories. Spiritual teachers are the most powerful at this. They have to be true, authentic spiritual teachers. I'm not talking about fucking influencers, guys. I'm not talking about the pseudo spiritualists. I'm not talking about any surface level crap. You don't yet have the power, the energetic power to do this. And if you're not studying energetics to the level that I know energetics, for example, I don't know what energetics you know, that I teach, and it's why I teach it, is to provide true spiritual education, the way of wisdom. one of the ways of oneness. So people understand these things on an energetic level. If all you know up here on an intellectual level with your mind, you will never be able to comprehend what I'm teaching to you. Never. And there's where all the people show up and they comment like, you're this, you're that. And they're projecting their own unhealed shit. It's fucking ridiculous. It's hilarious. But it gives me a good ab workout. I mean, I can laugh all day long at that kind of crap. They don't know energetics. When you are a true spiritual teacher, what you teach, what you say, your presence alone activates everything inside of that person that needs to be healed and seen and looked at within themselves. That's number one. And what most often when you run programs of avoidance, that's not me. I avoid, not me. I run superior programs. You run whatever programs you run to hide and not look at your dark shadow self, your ugly shadow self, your egoic self. All you do then will project. You'll project what's inside of you onto that person. Okay. And if I wasn't as awakened, I wasn't as elevated as I am, then I would feel those projections. And I mean, as sensitive as I am, that would be the end of me for days. That doesn't happen. Hate to disappoint some of you out there who are my fucking haters in the world. Hate to disappoint you. That doesn't happen. Sorry. No matter what you throw energetically, like that doesn't happen. But it doesn't happen because I know energetics and I've mastered energetics. As sensitive as I am to negative energies. Okay. Now, why am I so sensitive to negative energies? Part of what I'm here to do for people is feel everything inside of them, especially what's hidden, what's repressed, what is unhealed, what's in their blind spot. Obviously, if you knew what was repressed and in your blind spot, you could just heal it, or at least be working towards healing it. If you weren't sure how to heal it, you would be doing all of your methods and all your modalities that you use. You'd be trying to heal it at least. Does that make sense? You would at least be trying to heal it. But my gift is, one of my gifts is to see what's in there, shake it up, bring it to the surface so you can actually see what's in there within yourself. Okay. I also teach people how to alchemize it and heal it, of course. I elevate you to the frequencies of the universal ways of oneness. But that's a different topic. Okay. You walking around this world as, again, umbrella term, whatever type of light worker that you are, you have to understand that part of your purpose is to go into negative scenarios with negative people. That includes on social media, who are going to like, meh, 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 you're this, you're that, when they're full of shit. They don't know they're full of shit. They're unconscious. Their programs have taken over and all they're doing is projecting. And you have to be able to alchemize that energy. Okay. For those of you who may be listening and you're not exactly a light worker and you don't really think you are, if you don't think you are, you're probably not. And that's okay. That's okay. That doesn't mean you're inferior, there's something wrong, or you can't listen, or you're not actually here for a bigger purpose on the planet. Doesn't mean that. Okay. But if you're listening and you actually follow me and listen to me and you happen to not be a light worker, that is okay. I'm still talking to you. Okay. And I'm going to get there in a second. Let me just say this as a sidebar real quick again. I've specified and highlighted any light workers because I want you to understand with your sensitivities what you're going to always feel for the rest of your lives. You can't escape it. Okay. It's why I highlighted light workers. This is for any human being that is listening to this, though. So don't misunderstand. So let me just talk to the general public. Light workers are not light workers. It doesn't matter. I want you to stop matching people's energies. When you learn and you are educated more and more on energetics and how energies actually work, people's emotions are energetic frequencies. People's unhealed inner child wounds are energies that are emanating out from them. And those energies are automatically being expressed, felt by others. Like you are literally offering all of yourself to every human being when you interact with that human being, whether you understand that, realize it or not. Energy doesn't hide anything. So whatever's unhealed, whatever's ugly, whatever's dark, those energies are always interacting with other people, just like your positive, beautiful, loving, wonderful, nurturing energies are. But if you have negative unhealed crap in there that you haven't alchemized and transformed yet, that is interacting with other people. Okay. And that's how it gets tricky to understand how we match other people's energies. Okay. So if you're just out in the world and other people are being, maybe negative or unkind, or you're hanging out with friends and they're not quite awakened enough and they're still doing their misogyny bullshit stuff, or maybe they're doing their hateful stuff or their inequality stuff, or, maybe they're just, maybe they have a pattern of just being like really negative complainers. They bitch and complain about everybody. They judge everybody all the time. They're always running the superiority program. So they're putting other people down all the time. If you're around that, it's time to stop matching that energy. How do you do that? Well, if you are learning from me, if you are becoming an initiate of oneness consciousness and you're learning how to activate and elevate to the frequencies, the universal ways of oneness, then you learn what way of oneness or what ways of oneness are missing here. What ways of oneness are missing? Okay. Because there are frequencies that if a person is showing up in their certain programs, their vibrational frequencies, in their negative frequencies, they are obviously not showing up in the universal ways of oneness. They're not showing up in surrender, in presence, and connection, and compassion, and harmlessness, and gentleness, or equality, or trust, or truth, or honoring, or any of them. They're not showing up as the ways. So what ways, other than all of them, are missing here, and you activate and elevate to that way of oneness in real time. And that way of oneness, when you become that vibrational frequency and you work with that 1, 2, or 3 vibrational frequencies of the ways in real time in that moment with that exchange of that person, okay? When you do that and you learn how to do that, you completely transform the whole scenario. That literally means, because you go to the deepest aspect of who you are, what you are as a divine being. You ignite and become more powerfully that 1, 2, or 3 ways of oneness at a time. And then what flows through you other than those energetic frequencies of the other person. But that means your mental body, your emotional body, not just your physical body, your spiritual body. That means what you think, how you respond, your throat chakra, what you speak and say in this moment. The way of truth, for example, will speak through you and be your voice, your divine voice for that person. What that person needs to hear in that moment will now flow through you. That's how powerful these frequencies are. They are not tools that are outside of you. They're not energy modalities. They are the enlightened vibrational frequencies, the highest level of enlightenment that we can become in this lifetime, in this age of Aquarius. And as you become them, you gain the power to do this and to be this. And because you are elevating to these frequencies, what you say in any given moment comes from the way of wisdom. Isn't that miraculous? The way of wisdom will use your voice and speak through you because you are the way of wisdom. What do you need to say to this person right now? How do you need to say it? Do you have to set a boundary? Is it a soft, gentle, loving boundary? Friend, listen. As the way of truth, let me share with you. And maybe it's very gentle and very soft. How do you know when to be that versus, whoa, yo, bro, you can stop that shit right now. No. Like, listen, I know we're bros, and like, I used to be just as ugly and hateful and, misogynistic, like whatever the scenario could be, as you are. I used to be that too, and I used to do this with you, and I got to tell you, like, I am really working on the shame of being such a despicable person, because like I'm ashamed of who I used to be. And I'm healing that, and I'm becoming more loving, more powerful, the way of equality. And because of that, because I'm becoming that divine being, I cannot be in the presence of this trash because it's trash. I'm not calling you trash, but your beliefs, your words are. And it makes you look like you're an ugly person. And I know deeper than that, you're a magnificent person, but this trash you're saying makes you look like a person I don't want to be around. Now, let me be clear. I would love to keep hanging out with you, but not when you're spewing this garbage. Like we have to be better than this. Okay? I'm not judging you. I'm letting you know this nonsense, this trash, I don't tolerate that anymore for myself. And if I don't tolerate that for myself, it means I don't tolerate it in other people. I am saying this to you with love. I'm not judging you, but this conversation needs to change to something that's more honorable, more of the way of equality, more of the way of unconditional love, because I don't tolerate anything less for me, which means every single thing in my life, everyone in my life, I won't lower the bar for you because you're better than this. And I know you are. And if you weren't, I wouldn't say a damn word. I'd just leave. You know, are you open to changing topics and being different? Are you open to having a conversation about this? You know, and you go from there. That's a powerful person. That is a divine person. And you cannot come from judgment when you're saying that, but you are coming from the way of truth. There is a difference. People at lower levels of consciousness who have a tremendous amount of fucking judgment and other shit that they need to heal in themselves will hear truth being spoken by somebody who's actually connected to their power. And they're like, you're judging, you're hateful, you're judging. It is hilarious. Like, it's okay that you don't know the difference yet. But yeah, actually, you're the one projecting and judging me because you're filled with judgment. Hello, look in the mirror, wake up, people. Time to wake up for real. You know, we've done this pseudo spirituality bullshit for so long. Enough's enough. So see it for what it is and see it within yourselves and understand. In order to become powerful enough to stop matching other people's energies, you have to learn how to work with energetics. You have to learn energetics. You have to work with them and understand your own energies in the forms of your mental programs, emotional programs, behavioral programs, inner child wounds. You have to understand that within yourself and learn how to work with those and alchemize and transform those. And if you're not doing that, that's okay, but just understand why then when you walk around, your energy is just automatically entrained to everybody else's around you. And it's like, I can't be here. Right. And let me just say one more thing to all my light workers. It doesn't mean you become powerful enough to not feel other people's energies when they're dark and they're negative and they're low, and it will drain you. Okay. There is not this black and white. The more enlightened you become, it's so hard to put this into words because language is very limiting. But a lot of people out there in there's not a judgment, but in their absolute ignorance, they just tell you the more enlightened you become, other people's energies will have absolutely no effect on you. That isn't black and white truth, guys. That's not the way of truth. It is way more complicated than that. There's way more intricacies. Okay. There is some degree of truth. The more powerful you become energetically, that's energetically. That's not a fucking meme. Energetically, the more healed and whole and elevated, AKA divinely powerful you become, the more you're connected to your soul's energies and the frequencies, the enlightened frequencies that you can become. Yes, you become way more powerful. Yes, other people's energies, attitudes, and things don't affect you, in the least. There is a degree of truth in that, but this is a very misunderstood topic that, well, you never feel anything negative ever again when you're enlightened. That's no. When you are a light worker, you will always feel the worst of the worst. You cannot escape it. Why? That's where you're supposed to go to alchemize. Those are the people you're supposed to work with and help elevate them higher. They're trapped. They're stuck. They don't know how to do it. You're supposed to feel that. And you can't not feel that in other humans and not at some point get completely drained and need a break and need downtime and alone time and need to recover. Do you understand the difference? Somebody who is literally not an empath, not a light worker, not a highly sensitive person, if they are not those things, it's not hard for them to learn how to heal themselves, become powerful enough, and just things don't affect them. Because things don't affect them the same way they affect light workers anyway to begin with. Do you understand there's a difference, and there's always going to be a difference? I don't want that to be misunderstood. Like, light workers often, abuse themselves and put themselves down, like, oh, why am I not more enlightened? And then I just won't feel any negative. Why am I not more powerful? And then I just won't feel any negativity. That's not black and white, guys. You are always going to feel the darkest, the worst, the ugliest, because that's what makes you you. And that is exhausting when you're exposed to it for long periods of time. For long durations, for high frequencies of time. Okay. Constantly being exposed to that. It is going to drain the shit out of you. You have to recover energetically. You have to spend alone time. You need to connect to nature as much as possible. That's part of self-care as a light worker, as a healer, as a HSP, as an empath, etc. Okay. So just know that. Just know that. I hope you have a little bit better of an understanding of how to stop matching other people's energies. Just because you feel it in them doesn't mean you need to let it entrain and become you. Okay? Clear it out, alchemize it. If it's activating and triggering your unhealed stuff, take the time to heal that. Get whatever help you need. If you haven't yet, get a consultation at Master Yourself University. That's what we do. That's what we help you with. We teach you all that. Okay? So you can become it yourself. But if you already know how to do all of that, you just still have a hard time with it and you're not at the mastery level yet, that's okay. Just keep doing it. Just keep going. You're doing great. But stop matching other people's energies. It is just bringing you down. And I would love to hear, by the way, if this sparks anything that you want to share in the comments, please do. Please do. Like, have you understood how you're matching people's energies, especially as an empath, and not realizing that you're doing that? Like, has anything sparked you like, oh my God, I totally do that. And I didn't realize I didn't quite have to do that. Meaning, as an empath, as a light worker, again, I'll just use umbrella term, as a light worker, you're going to feel all that, but then you don't have to match the damn energy. Drop into your heart space. If you work with the ways of oneness and you're learning that and you know how to do that, beautiful. That's what I want you to do. It's the most powerful thing you could possibly do. Most effective thing. Okay. If you don't know how to do that and you're not there yet, that's okay. Drop into the center of the center of the center of your heart. Go into the center of your heart chakra. Expand and grow the energy of your heart chakra throughout your entire body. And all you have to do is energetically connect to that. Be your heart energy more potently, more powerfully, right here, right now, in real time. Alchemize the stuff that you feel. You do not need to energetically attach to the negative, horrible shit that you feel right here, right now from that person. Not judging the other person, but they got negative, horrible crap in there. Most people do. You walk around as an extremely highly sensitive person. You can feel everything and everybody. Most people feel like crap. They just do. It's not a judgment. It is the truth. And it's draining and exhausting, but you don't have to match their energy just because they feel like that. You shouldn't feel that way. Just because you have the gift and the ability to sense it and feel it and experience it as if it's your own, don't then make it your own. Energetically detach from other people's energies. Where it's kept at a distance, you're still aware of it. You observe it from a distance, energetically observe it from a distance. You're not bringing it in and making it your own. Don't match their energies. Drop into your heart. Expand that heart chakra energy throughout your entire body, throughout your entire energy field, and sit in the beautiful divine energy that is your soul's energy. And that is what you want to do every single time you're around other people in order to not match their energy. You are the one that should be activating the quote unquote dominant or more powerful, is a better way, more to say it, more powerful energy of the room. And what's going to happen? They will then need to entrain to you. And if they can't or they won't, they refuse because they can't rattle you, they can't get you upset, they can't get a reaction out of you because you refuse to match their energy, then they're going to leave. They're going to walk away. They might curse you out before they do. Who cares? Don't match their energy. This is what it means to stand in your power and not give your power away, so to speak. Again, that's a surface level understanding of it, but hopefully now throughout this episode, you've understood more deeply what that actually means. You can connect to the energies that are your divine energies, expand them, live in them, be them. And then the person in front of you has no choice but to energetically entrain to the powerful energy that you are. That is what you're here to do anyway. Or they'll be so triggered by you, the fact that you are untouchable, that you will not lower your frequency to match theirs. You won't do that. And when you won't do that and they can't energetically control you and bring you down to their level, no matter how hard they try, you won't do that. And because of that, they'll play some, mind fuck game. They'll yell, they'll scream, they'll curse you out, they'll walk away. They'll be like, oh, I don't even care. Don't even respond to me again. And they'll leave, or whatever they'll try to do to make their own egos feel like they won this one. And meanwhile, it's fucking hilarious. You're like, dude, I'm not even playing a game with you. Not even there with you. Like, not even on the field with you. I won't step onto that field. I'm here being my divine self energetically. Whatever you want to do with that is on you. Stop matching other people's energies. You create the vibrational frequency of the room. If you need help doing that, go to mastersofselfuniversity.com, get a consultation so we can guide you to our coaching programs, our groups, so you can learn how to do it for yourself. Okay? Stop matching other people's energies. Till next time, everybody.